Okay, right now it is 8:11 a.m. in the morning here, and our voltage is right around 64 volts, and that is a fully charged battery bank. And outside okay, here's our light power. We're getting 490 watts per square meter, which is about half of full sunlight. And as you can see, it's a clear sunny day out, but the sun's still kind of coming up. So very happy with the inverters, very happy with the batteries. Okay, on my nickel iron batteries, I have to water them about once a month. And you can see on these guys, this one, you can pretty well tell that it's on the max line. But this one, you can kind of see it, but it's not quite as clear. And that one, you can pretty well tell that it's on the max line. But you know, you have to really kind of squint sometimes. Sometimes it's just really hard to tell how full they are. So what I do is I take a light. So like you can see this one here. Now you can see the minimum line on it. The water's at the minimum line. But what I do is I take my LED clip light. And now you can see that the water is really illuminated to the level that it's at. So now I know I need to fill this up to the max lines. And you can tell it's rising very slowly because I've got the funnel sitting right in the hole. So there's not really any air to help it breathe there, but raise it up, maybe it'll have some air now. Yeah, I tried that, but it just fell back down. Let's try a little different angle here. But you can see that the water line's coming up to the max. It's hard to do with just one hand. So anyway, I've almost got it up to the full mark. And there it is. That one's full. So that's how I'm able to distinguish where the water level is in these things. And then I just flip the lid back closed and go down and do the next one. And so far I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I've got maybe 1/3 of a gallon left. And I've got 40 of these to do. So at this rate, it's probably going to take, usually it takes between 4 and 5 gallons. And I normally don't clean the battery tops off because these caps do a good job of keeping all the dust and stuff out. I mean, if there was moisture between the terminals, you know, I'd clean that, but this is all just like dry sawdust and dust and all that kind of stuff. So that's pretty much how I do these batteries. This is my monthly battery maintenance. You know, I do check the terminals, and if there's any corrosion or anything that looks pretty bad, I go ahead and clean them up good. So this is one of the days that we are putting out very little electricity. We've got super cloudy weather, and we're making on this inverter 320 watts. And it's very, very dark outside, very dark, cloudy, and we're right about straight noon. And our light power, as you can see, is this number. If I can get the, okay, that number right there, 72.8. That's the light intensity. That can go as high as 1500. And to give you an idea of what it's like outside, this is the rainy, overcast day that we have. Completely overcast. And this is about as dark as it gets. This would be a super dark, cloudy, snowy day in Colorado. Chickens aren't even all that happy about it. Alright, so here we're making 3 kilowatts exactly. And then the amount of power that we're getting off the sun right now, you can see that this here says light is 783 watts per square meter is what that reading says it is there. And so we're getting that 3 kilowatts off of there. This inverter we're getting, let's see here. We're getting about 1.5 kilowatts, but then the power or the sunlight outside is also going down because now we're at 459. And this one's making 140 or 1.42 kilowatts, and this one's making 2.7. Well, it's coming back up now. So this guy usually maxes out around 3 kilowatts because the panels that I have connected, this one I think are a total of 4,200 watts. And of course, getting the sun exactly perpendicular to the panels, you're never going to get that full output that they're rated. This one's 2.3 kilowatts, falling again because the sunlight's going away again. But anyway, that's how it is, and probably I would say half sun. Okay, so you can see that right now we're pulling almost 400 watts on this inverter. Our voltage is rising slowly, so at 64, somewhere around there, you'll hear the relay click and the car will start charging. And then you'll see the usage. Okay, the relay clicked. Now it's going to start jumping up pretty quick. You'll hear the fans in it ramp up. We're over 1 kilowatt, 2 kilowatts, 3 kilowatts. And dang near 4 kilowatts that we're using off of this inverter right now. That's the car charging. Our production is at 639 watts per square meter. Voltage is at 57.6, and it is falling gradually, but you can see that it's holding, and we're making off of this guy. Let's swing around here. We're making 1 kilowatt, a little over 1 kilowatt. So this one's going to be supplying power also. So this one's making a little over 1 kilowatt as well. And we're at 400 watts per square meter. So it's fallen off quite a bit. The relay released. So we'll go back over here. We're back to consuming 390 watts roughly. That's for the water heater. It's heating the water right now at the moment. And so that's kind of how it works for charging our electric car. As the clouds leave, well, it'll come up. And then once it hits 64, it starts charging the car. And then whenever it gets down to, I think, around 54, whatever that I got it configured, that's when it releases the relay and the car stops charging. So during the whole day, off and on, even if we have clouds, the car will still get a little bit of a charge. Works out really well. And as you can see, it's gotten really cloudy outside now. Or not really cloudy, but cloudy enough that it's not full sun. You can see it's casting shadows, but that's about it. Anyway, as far as this system goes, I'm very pleased with it. It works really well. I'm able to charge the electric car with it, live completely a normal life. On severely cloudy days, it might not make enough to charge the car, but otherwise life is lived normally. Down to 200 watts per square meter. Oh, jumped up a little bit, so maybe the clouds are going away. But it's an awesome system. I love the batteries, I love the inverters. The technology is just fabulous. Got an all-electric home, totally off-grid. Even the little electric dryer works really well. And that's a heat pump dryer. And then our electric water heater that's set to 135 degrees. Everything works fantastic. Absolutely love it.